Congratulations, Malik, on the win
Thank you.
today. Your coach mentioned your defense kind of let you guys know that they got your back. Throughout the game. So I wanted to know, how does that feel to have those conversations on the sideline when you're going in and out of the games, and then how does it feel to know that they have your back?
Yeah, it's the ultimate boost of confidence for me and the offense as a whole, just because, those guys are playing the other side of the ball, but it's all complementary football. So, they play well and get us good field position. It makes it easier for us to score. And the same thing when we score, it gives them momentum, allow them to get stops easier. So just those guys trusting us as an offense and trusting in me as a quarterback gives me a lot of confidence.
Yep. No. Malik, on the touchdown to Shalik on fourth down, can you kind of take us through that, what you saw and the execution of that play?
Simple high-low smash concept. Corner bid on the out, had a one-on-one opportunity up top, and I trust four. I like him as a player. I love him better as a person, and I just trusted him on that play. He made an amazing play and allowed us to score.
Hey Malik. Last week you faced a pretty, I don't want to say vanilla, but a lot of four-man rushes. Tonight it looked like they brought a couple extra guys, tried to disguise some of their looks a little bit. How much did you kind of learn in game? Because as much as you can try it over practice, I imagine it's hard to replicate. So how much did you feel like you kind of took certain defensive looks and learned from them mid-game tonight?
Making the correct halftime adjustments. Coaches talking about it, what they're doing up front, everybody communicating on one accord, so that no matter what they're doing, as long as we communicate it out and we stick to our rules, we'll be fine.
Malik, great game again as well. Talk about your connection with Fleming and Knotts. You got both touchdowns again with them again this week. Something in practice, you guys seem to be going to these guys over and over again. Something you do in practice, or what's going on with that connection there?
They just make plays. Everybody in our whole offense is able to make those plays tonight. And last week happened to be their 2 days. Those guys step it up when their name is called. I trust everybody in the offense. Those are two older guys who've been here for a while. I know Shalik's been waiting his turn behind some great receivers, some NFL players. So now that he gets his chance to shine, and same thing with Dorian, he'd be able to shine on this level.
Hey, Malik, last week you talked about your resilience and how important that was, that you learned about yourself, especially when you're facing some moments of adversity like you did today. How important is that? And I'm probably going to ask you this every week. Did you learn something new about yourself this week too?
It's super important. In these tough games, these gritty games, you just kind of got to stay with it. No matter how many possessions you get, you got to make the best of them, and you can't have costly turnovers or anything like that. So just being able to stick with it. And I think this week we just learned that we're a four-quarter team. We're going to play hard all 4 quarters no matter what the score is. And everybody has everybody's back. No matter if things are going wrong or they're going right, there's no finger pointing or anything like that. We all collectively are close as a team.
Malik, your offensive line had to look a little bit different tonight, and yet they still kept you safe. No sacks, didn't make you step into any interceptions. What can you say from what you saw from them tonight?
Yeah, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Those guys have worked their butts off, since January. They've been putting in the time in the weight room and in the meeting room to be able to come out here and perform like that. And I trust them with everything in me. I know they trust me being behind them.
Hey, Malik, congratulations on the win. Kind of playing off some of these other questions, it didn't seem like, even though things got tough, there was a lot of panic. And I know it's such a young roster, but did that come from younger guys like you, or was that some more of the veteran leaders on this team that were kind of keeping everybody even-keeled as the game went on?
I think it's a little bit of both. Of course, the veteran guys have the experience with it. They've been through these situations before, but the young crew that we have, we're pretty mature as a group. So when we get into those situations, it's collectively as a team, we're all coming together saying, it's fine, we're going to keep going, next drive, next play, next possession, and just focus on that.
Malik, Jaleel and Caleb Webb, 2 guys coming over from the SEC with a lot of experience. What have they brought to the table in terms of offense, especially with you as one of the younger players coming in?
They bring, that savvy leadership, that savvy veteranness. I've been played a couple seasons. Jaleel is an amazing player, even better person. When his name is called, he makes the play. Certain packages where we can give him the ball easier and things like that. And same thing with Caleb Webb. He stepped up big tonight on a crucial 3rd down, making that catch and run and staying in bounds, keeping the clock rolling. Just those certain plays that, those guys are ready to make all the time.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
We're going to have Trey Reddick and Dorian Fleming